Well, good afternoon folks, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Lee, Virtual Airline Pilot, and today, as you can see, we're in the Bell 47 helicopter. And we're in this helicopter today for a rather interesting special reason even. So today we are at Kharkiv International Airport in eastern Ukraine. Kharkiv, or Kharkiv as the locals call it, is Ukraine's second largest city. 1.5 million people live here, and it's in the far east of Ukraine, not far from the Russian border. And the reason we're here today, this is the default scenery, nothing added specially except the helicopter. I have friends in the city, and we were chatting the other night, and they've asked me to see what it looks like in Flight Simulator. So I thought today we would do a flight from the airport into the city and see if we can find a couple of landmarks. Okay folks, so here we are looking at the main map. As you can see down in the bottom there is Kharkiv International Airport, and you can see the junction of the M18, Kharkiv Avenue, just to the left there. We will be following the M18 north until we reach the bridge just after the roundabout by the Kharkiv River, and then we'll cross that and go into the city centre, and hopefully we will find Constitution Square, Shevchenko City Gardens, and one or two other little bits along the way. So here's a closer look at that little junction. As you can see, there's the airport runway just to the right there, and there's the junction directly west of the 07 threshold. Kharkiv Avenue goes north, and you can see the Ogre hotels clearly marked. We'll get to see that on the way out, and we will head up Kharkiv Avenue, the M18, towards the northbound towards the city. And lastly, here you can see there in the bottom part of the map the roundabout with the bridge that crosses the Kharkiv River. We follow that road in, and then just to the left and just east of the river as it divides, you can see University Hill and Constitution Square. And if we travel further north, just a bit further up there, you can see Shevchenko City Gardens. And we'll actually proceed a little bit further north before turning right and heading over to the Kharkiv State Aircraft Manufacturing Company's airfield, which is in the north-east. So that's the plan. Let's get into the air and go and have a look, and I'll talk to you a little bit along the way. It's going to be fairly low, slow flight, so we can see what the scenery shows us. So the idea is to head out to the runway. We've got a single runway here at Kharkiv. It's 0725. We're going to go over the threshold of 07. Straight out we'll see the little roundabout with the junction, and then we'll turn right to follow the highway, and I'll try and point out the Ogres, but we will see it a little bit better on the way back. So here's the junction, and the Ogre is actually there. is the Ogre's hotel here. Not terribly well simulated, but there it is. That's exactly where it is. So we follow the highway into town. To be honest, there's a building coming up on the right that looks very much like what the Ogre is, but actually it's not the right building because it's in the wrong place. So this building here looks very much like what the hotel would be, but you come off the highway, go around the corner, there's a petrol station and there's a lorry park, which we will see on the way back. So travelling down the highway at low levels is something you'd never realistically be able to do, but it's just a good example. Have a look at the buildings and structures, follow the highway. I've driven down here many times, taken so many cabs down this road. It's a dual carriageway, 3 lanes each side. Obviously they drive on the right in this country, so the traffic isn't quite correct, but that's alright. You take this highway down into the city, and it's about a 15-minute cab drive because there are lots of traffic lights along the way, but it's really cheap. It's about £2.50. I paid 100 hryvnias. All goes well, first thing we're going to come upon as we cross the river into the city is Constitution Square on the left, followed by Shevchenko Park, or Shevchenko City Garden they call it, and you might be able to see the Kharkiv State Aircraft Manufacturing Company airfield from this side. Over to the right hand side, we'll see that a little bit later. Monday afternoon, 6th of September. It's real weather, so the conditions are quite nice. It's 3:15 local time in UK, 5:15 in Kharkiv. They're plus 2 hours ahead of us, and they do daylight saving time like we do. So at the moment they're UTC +3. Road comes round to the left, and to be honest, these are typical sort of high-rise apartment blocks, flats that you see in many former Soviet Union countries. Obviously Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union up until its independence, which I think was 1991. The capital city, Kiev, right in the middle of the country. Interesting fact, if you draw a line north-south from Kiev, split the country in half, most of the people in the western side speak Ukrainian, particularly the young, although they all mostly have spoken Russian before. But the eastern side, including Kharkiv, pretty much everybody speaks Russian, even though they all identify, of course, as Ukrainian. We've got the river and the roundabout coming up, just past these buildings. So there's the roundabout. Just get a little bit of height here. across the river. Now it's just a case of trying to find Constitution Square, which I think is over here somewhere. There's the highway, crosses over. That looks like it there. Might be wrong. No, this is it here. Very difficult to see, to be honest. So I'm tracking in the right direction. Look, some of these beautiful buildings down here. And I'm assuming somewhere along here is Shevchenko City Gardens. It's really hard to find it without a proper moving map display. But we're going to continue to have a look. Now over there you can see the Kharkiv State Aircraft Manufacturing Company airfield. Does look nice though. Let's just swing left over here and have a look. That thing in the distance I think is an anomaly, not really sure what it is. Shouldn't really be there. Okay, we've got the University Football Stadium. Very nice. Okay, so we'll come across and have a look at the State Manufacturing Aircraft Company. Well, you know, it may not be instantly recognisable, but it is beautiful scenery. So much better than the previous Sims. It's a real step forward. So here we are then, it's the Kharkiv State Aircraft Manufacturing Company, founded in 1926. And they actually haven't had any orders for a long time. The company is in dire straits at the moment. See lots of hangars and not so much hangars, but lots of buildings where manufacturing takes place. Very nice. Beautifully done. Okay, so we'll head back to Kharkiv International. Now it's a case of finding my way back. But this was fun. It's a chance to see what the city and the environment looks like in the simulator. And you know what? It's not bad. I'm impressed. I mean, the ground detail's okay. And I've sort of managed to identify a few things, even though it's not been terribly accurate. Way back, you'll be able to get a closer look or a better view of what the hotel looks like that I stay in. At least it's there, it's almost the right shape. The colouring's a bit all wrong, but then I think that's down to Bing data. Love to be able to, really would love to see somebody take on Kharkiv Airport and do a job on it. We've got Borispil in Kiev, we've got Lviv International, we've now got Odessa. I really would love to see Kharkiv to complete the set. One of the airlines, the virtual airlines I fly for is Virtual Airlines of Ukraine, so I fly out of Kiev quite a lot, and Kharkiv is one of the airports I go into. Let's get a bit more height. It's funny, so much of this I kind of recognise. Couldn't always tell you what the names are, in English or Russian for that matter. But I know them, I visualise it and I remember it. So many taxi rides in and out of the city. And one year, 2019, I went here for the summer to see my friends and rented a car and braved the roads, which was great fun. I survived, the car was intact, nothing was damaged. But Ukraine is a really large country there. They have lots of arable land, the farming is good, which is why they have such good meat. So, coming up to the junction here, there's the airport there. Now this building here, as I say, it looks, it's the right sort of colouring, you'll see from the photographs of the Ogre's hotel, but it's actually not the hotel. It's in the wrong place, although you get this sort of, you have to go down the road and then come turn around to the lights in order to come back into the hotel when you're driving out of the city. So coming up on the hotel is here. This is the Hotel Ogre, literally right under the flight path almost. And what isn't showing here, there's a petrol station here. Here's the lorry park that we often see from our hotel room facing the back. It's a very quiet location. And very nice, sort of westernised hotel. continue up the highway here, and you've got the road there that veers left into the airport. Just here. And this is fairly accurate. You've got this massive car park in front of the airport. I just wish somebody would really do a job and develop it, because the buildings are wrong. There's a beautifully ornate building sitting here that just isn't shown in the photogrammetry. And usually also, I think it's somewhere over here, they've got a couple of old Russian aircraft. Landing. Well, that wasn't too bad. Not a bad landing, to be honest. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that quick tour. It's really difficult to identify things from the air anyway, but I think we managed to have a little look at the city. We'll try maybe another time and have a closer look, a longer look at the city and see what else sticks out. But thanks very much for joining me. That was a quick tour of Kharkiv in eastern Ukraine by helicopter. So I will say bye for now and see you in the next video.